Hi everybody, on today's episode of PincheAls Garage, we're going to learn how to remove a Mark II GTI dashboard. So let's stay tuned because as always, break, fix, and repeat. Alright, so on the Mark IIs, there's a couple of things you need to pay attention to. Once we got the wheel out on the previous DIY, we need to be very careful on how to take everything else out. I pulled out the buttons already. These you just like on a Mark IV, you just pull them straight out and take the wire off. Very, very simple. Now we're actually here on the hard part of this DIY, is where are all the screws. There's one back here. I see one inside here in this corner, if you guys can see my finger, but it's inside here. So I'm going to try to get you guys as thorough as possible because this car is really old and I don't want to break anything while I'm doing this. So let's be very careful. Let's see here. So one thing that's going to hold me back right now, I already know this, is the radio. I got to get some paper clips and see if I can get this thing out of here so I can pull this radio out. Once this radio is out, I believe I have access to a bunch of other stuff. Aha! This guy pops out. Very nice. Very nice. It's a high five. So this one I just literally just wiggled it off. Came right off, not a big deal. So here's another screw right here. 1, 2, 3. You guys can see that. 1, 2, 3 screws right there. There's another one inside here, all the way on the left side of this corner. And everything that I see in here screw-wise is the Phillips screwdriver. So make sure you get yourself a really nice long screwdriver and a magnetic tool to pick them up and get your baggies to start marking stuff. So you definitely need a sandwich bag to do this, okay? So get your sandwich bag and mark it dashboard. Alright, back. So we're going to mark our bag. Dashboard. These are for all the screws that you take off of it. So there's one in here. There's that one. One right here. Oh, that one's at an angle. Now, I did take off prior to this at my other DIY removing the carpet. I took off the lower dash trim, and that's just a bunch of screws that go right across and it just falls right off. So if you need to figure out how to remove the bottom portion, look up my MK2 GTI carpet removal. That one has the DIY and how to remove the lower portion of the dash. These wires are all up in my space. Jesus Christ. There you go. Now if you're keeping your dashboard, then just take your time removing everything and don't do what I'm doing, leaning on the actual dash, because you might actually end up breaking it. But see, I don't care for keeping this dash, so if it breaks, it breaks. I'm just trying to remove all the other really vital components of the dash without breaking it. So now you'll see here, with those screws removed and that AC cover removed, it's giving me the ability now to actually pull this trim out slowly. And then the radio just pops right out with it. Well, if you have an aftermarket one. Just like that. Pretty cool. Now be very careful with this trim, because this trim's very brittle and old. Now I'm going to leave it alone for right now. Leave it out here. Now with the trim removed, another screw was just exposed over here in the upper left hand corner. So there's that one. That just pops right off. Let's see here. I'm using this speedo, so I gotta be careful not to break the speedo. Right next to the speedometer on the upper left hand corner, there's another screw hidden towards the back. And more than likely there's another one over here too. Yep. On the right side of the speedometer, tucked away in the corner, and there's supposed to be a screw, but it's missing. There's a screw over here too. So now that gives me the ability to pop this sucker out. Maybe. Okay, so on the left side of the dash right here, there's a Phillips. Let's take this one off. Ooh, that one holds the dash up mostly. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to work my way over to the right. And sure enough, there's another one. We'll take this one off. Now remember, every screw that you're removing, so when you reverse the process, it makes it easy. This glove box is really nice, so it's not even busted. So I might actually preserve that and use it with my new dash if the other one has a bad pocket. So everything's coming off pretty nicely. Now, to see if we can find more screws that hold this sucker up. Yep, there's another one right here, towards the middle. Another one right next to on the right of the steering wheel. Now do a cool little technique. It's just to wiggle and pull. If it doesn't come off easily, then there's stuff missing. Then we just keep looking. Keep wiggling and keep pulling. Now the reason why I'm not trying to break this off of here is maybe you guys have a clean dash. I don't know that. So I'm going to try to pry stuff like I have a brand new dash. You know? So I don't break things. So what I'm doing right now is trying to figure out if this pops out easily. Which is not happening. Because yeah, the dash is pretty much off. I don't see anything. Oh, there's more right here in the front. I see them. Right in the AC vents. Right there. Push the AC vents all the way down. Oh, look at that. More likely this is what hold the vents in. Let's see if I can pop these vents out. I pop one out of its little socket. Now, I'm just trying to figure things out because I've never removed a dash before from a Mark II. So, this is a trial and error process for me. There we go. I'll work that out in a little bit. So, I don't think that was needed to remove it. Nope, that was not. So it didn't require to remove that vent. So now we're on to the other portion of the dash. Which I can't see any screws for it. I don't feel anything for it. But there's stuff back here. There has to be a screw somewhere back here holding something up. So I'm going to remove the glove box. Let me just look around first before I make that decision. I don't see anything. So weird. I'm guessing it's probably something. It might be actually on the inside. So, Mark IIs are a little tricky. And what I mean by that, I'll show you. There's two 10mm bolts underneath here. You'll see right here there's one, and then one on the full-on right side as well. And there's one underneath there. Right up there. Those two 10mm you gotta pull off. So I got a little ratchet and a little extension, knocked them off, or unbolted them, and now the dash is actually coming off. So the dash has the screws like we were following earlier, and the two on the back, and now the dash will actually pull out. Okay, so now just pull the dash ever so lightly. One side and the other. Ah, there's a pen. I'll get it out later. Let's see here. There might be more behind here than meets the eye. But I don't want to break it, so. I'm gonna go get my short screwdriver. So removing the glove box was not successful, because I guess I don't need to do that. I think this is what's holding me back. But I don't have like a lever to change its height. It's fixed, so. Let's see here. There's still something holding it. I can hear it tapping. That bolt. Double check if there's not a third one there. So what I had to do, this dash is just being a jerk. So I just removed the bottom steering wheel cover. I'm going to take the actual controls off. There's just two Phillips, and this little part cover comes off. And then it's an Allen bit. More likely it's an 8mm here. And then this will give you the ability to wiggle this off and take off the steering wheel controls. And that should give me the slack that I need to pull the whole dash out, because I can't, it's not coming off. I don't know why. I don't see any extra screws. Nothing extra. The car is just being extra. So stay tuned, because Al's frustrated and I'm trying to figure this out. Since it is my first time doing this, so it's like I'm learning along the way. It's not that bad. It's not a Mark IV. So now that that's all done, I gotta remove the, like I said, it back to this steering wheel bolt, so I'll be right back. I found the source of the evil. Evil! This right here. This AC panel literally being held by just rubber. So, and this is what's keeping me from pulling the dash out, because these things are keeping it from popping out. I mean, the good news, this stuff is holding up. This 30-year-old stuff is good stuff. On the bad side, it's annoying. That's all it's holding me back right now, is that one piece. Yeah, because every time I pull a dash out, one piece is holding it, and this is what's popping out. So, I'm trying to figure out how to do this without damaging it. Because, you know, heater is life in California. I don't care for, oh, they have a freaking staple in them. Okay, okay. That's not good. Okay, I got one side partially off. Trying to get the wiggle room here. There we go. Double check anything else. There she is. Just pop off. That one just wiggles off the vacuum line. There you go. Be careful with this one. Keep it out of the way. Whew! Talk about an adventure pulling this dash off. So let's recap before we pull it all the way off. You don't need to take out, oh, the speakers are still plugged in. I figured out how to pop them off. You gotta take this little cover off. This just pops right off. There's two Phillips screwdrivers in there. I might have to just cut the wiring for the speakers, and I'm just gonna run all new wiring in this car for that. And that comes right off. So, you see the wires right here for it. There you go. That might prevent you from pulling the whole dash out. So remember to get those yanked out. Alright, so the whole dash is technically off. Now, the part we got to be careful with is that we don't want to damage the steering wheel controls. So, next part is that you're going to need to pull this upwards. I did, like I said, unbolt it, so I'm hoping that this will let me wiggle it out, but it's not letting me. That's great. Sorry. Get you guys back up here. There you go. A lot of the wiring's still attached to it, the actual dash, so you gotta be careful. That's probably what's gonna prevent you. Yeah, my harness, the main harness is actually, looks like it's zip tied to the dash, which is interesting. Same here, it's got a zip tie in there. So you need to get your little wire cutters and start cutting the zip ties off, because you're going to try to yank it out and maybe damage something else you're not supposed to in the process. So I'm going to get back and cut that zip tie here. There's a zip tie back here to hold most of the harness. So those are now removed, so they're not being attached to the car anymore. Oh, still another zip tie somewhere. Oh, right here. Oh man. How do you get to that one? That's a tricky one, guys. If I can only get this steering wheel freaking control off, life would be hell of a lot easier. Holding it back now. Zip tie. Please don't break. Please don't break. There you go. There we go. Couple wires being yanked right now. I'll figure that right now. My concern is, why isn't this popping out the way it's supposed to? Something's holding it. Well, for right now, that's okay. So there you go. Mark II dash removal. We're going to figure out how to remove this over here. Figure out how to move this over here. Looks like it's tricky because I don't see anything else holding it back. But it could be the actual steering wheel control. Oh, wait. Looks like this comes off too. Interesting. I wonder. Nope. Oh, no big deal. Dash is removed. Now let's see, what was this over here? Okay, that was the dash, not dash, but the interior light for the glove box. My intake pipe for that. Oh, that thing's busted. Figure out how to fix that later. So that's the dash removal. Now while you're here, this is actually a good time to look for any type of leaks, problems with your heater core. We're probably going to do a DIY pretty soon for a heater core when I get a new heater core. So right here is the blower motor. So you guys see that over here. This is the blower motor here, and then right next to it is the heater core. So it'd be good to, we can figure something out with that bad boy. And maybe we can get maybe get a new blower motor, get a new heater core, all taken care of. Got some ground points here, random wiring. I'll figure this all out. But yeah. So thanks again for watching this episode of PincheAls Garage. Later we're going to do a DIY to do the install the new dashboard. Install the new Mark II dashboard. We're going to do a new Mark II headliner. We're going to rewrap all the pillars. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we got to redo in this car because we're fully restoring this car back to its former glory, with a lot more modifications on top of it, obviously, and a 1.18. But the goal here is to make this thing pretty much brand new. So again, thanks again for watching this episode of PincheAls Garage. Peace out, and as always, break, fix, and repeat.